Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Wolf, and I'm bringing you guys a deck profile for Stride format. This is going to be Oracle Think Tank. I've really been loving this deck. This deck's really a fun deck to play, and it really works really well. Not too expensive on price, and it just been working fantastic. Every tournament I've taken to, I've topped and done well with. So, without further ado, here's the deck profile. So, starting out, we have your Scarlet Witch Lulu, or Little Witch Lulu. Giving a little foreshadowing what card's going to come next. Lulu's great. She allows us with your CoCo combo to draw 3 cards and get you a free rare card, so it's really good. Be warned, it doesn't come out of Soul, so people maybe who are new to OTT and want to take up this deck, it's not a forerunner, but it does do that whenever you ride a grade 3, so it's really good for that aspect. For triggers, you play a whole bunch of shiny stars. 4 are the psychic bars most important because they let you draw cards. Then you just play a whole bunch of array of other critical triggers. You just want to mix it up because you don't want your opponent to know how much crits you're playing, but you are playing 12 crits. Very important because you want to be able to win the game. You have enough draw power. You're usually holding like 13 cards in hand anyways, so the crits really get you where you need to go. So I do play 12 crits, and then I play the 4 very beautiful SP heal triggers because they go back and they're very important because it gives you all your triggers again, and they look pretty. So yeah. Going on to your ones, you play the 4 unflip perfect guards. You have to watch out the end and stuff like that. The X, they will attack your rear guards. This card can only perfect guard your Vanguard, but it does give you an unflip, and you counterblast a lot in the deck. That's why I play it. If it didn't let you unflip, if it just said your Vanguard card would be awful, but it does let you unflip, so it's pretty good for that aspect. So yeah, you do counterblast a lot in the deck, so you kind of have to watch out about that. So continuing on, I play 4 of the Stride enablers. Very good. It lets you have your cards in. It also lets you search for Susanoo, especially if you need a rear guard early. Like if you go second and your opponent has a 9k, and you have if you have to ride Tom, you play this, get a Susanoo, and just get all your Stride fodder. But the card's really good. You know, it's definitely a fantastic card. I'm glad they made those like that. And then for the rest, you just play 6 AK vanillas in any fashion you'd like of this. I do like the 4 naked babies. Well, that sounded really weird, but the original Geminis were really good. So because they're the original, and you make the pretty Tom columns since BTO2, and then you play 2 of the other AK vanillas because you need your Tom columns to be live. And talking about Tom, the main star of the deck, the best card in the deck, probably the best grade, in my opinion and a lot of other people's opinions, the best grade 2 in Vanguard is for Silent Tom. He's an 8k, but he will win you every single game you want to play. He is the all-star, and there's a reason why he's $20 a piece, because he's great, and he looks awesome. So I do recommend playing this art because he looks really cool. But he looks like Walter White from Breaking Bad. But beyond that, if people don't know what he does, during battle that he attacks, your opponent cannot guard with grade 0s, so he makes your opponent force out perfect guards and not perfect guard your Vanguard, which is great. But he is the all-star. There's not much really to say. I mean, he's definitely the best grade 2 card in the Vanguard. And then for the others, I play the 4 of the Diviner Umbrella guy that lets you. First of all, looks fantastic. The artwork for SPs look really nice out of GPO 1. I got 1 SP of it, but its skill is whenever it boosts, you can counterblast 1 and draw a card. If you have at least 1 card. If you're at least at GB 1, Generation Break 1, so he lets you have your draw power, and it's really good. Drawing free cards is always fantastic. And then I also play 3 of the 12k attackers for GB for Generation Break 1. There's not really much else to play, and much else you need to play. So you pretty much have 3 floating spots, and it's just good to be able to have 12ks without boosters if you don't have boosters, so it's good for that aspect. Going into 3s, you play the 4 Scarlet Witch CoCo, letting you to draw cards is really good. Drawing 3 cards, turn your right Vanguard, and then going into Stride plus even more is pretty insane. She's just really good in that aspect. I really don't like the Tsukiyomi version. I know a lot of people like it for the stack ability, but in this deck you can win way before the stack even gets there. And you can make a stack with this deck as well, but you don't even really need to get to a stack. You just win. You just draw a whole bunch of cards and kill your opponent. So for CoCo looks, card's great, even now. And then for Susanoo. Susanoo, very interesting card. A lot of people don't know, it's the only card in OTT that lets you have a crit before, without triggers. So his ability is Generation Break 2. If you have 4 more cards in the hand, he gets +5 on a crit. Same thing with Amaterasu, it can be during your battle phase you get the 4th card in your hand, but you probably already have 4 cards in it at all times. And whenever you stride, it's a break stride. You can counterblast one whenever you stride. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, and then put one in your hand and the other on the bottom. So this card's great. It's your card you want to ride after CoCo, and it's great. So I do suggest playing 4 and 4, you know, so you get your strides off. But the card's great. Only OTT unit that gets you a free crit. And then going into my extra deck stride deck, I play the 4 Kieran. This card's better than the next card because it's free. But it's still a really good card. The next card's still a really good card as well. So play 4 Kieran. Whenever its attack hits you, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put one in your hand and the other on the bottom. Then I played 4 of the Sword Deity. The lesser good card. And the reason why it's lesser good, and people may be shocked by it, is because you have to counterblast 2. But its activation skill is counterblast 2. Flip the same unit up. If you have 2 units or 2 more units face up, you get a look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Put 2 in your hand, and the rest on the bottom. So people might ask, you know, why is that worse? Why is that not as good? And the reason behind it is because you counterblast so much in the deck anyways, that you are barely getting this card off more than once per game. If you get it off once per game, the game can go, or you can win the game before you even go into this card. You may not even counterblast for it, but Kieran's really an all-star because it's a free twin drive, or a triple drive, and, you know, free add if it hits. And people usually let it hit early, so it's great anyways. But this card's also really good as well, so I really do like both of these. But yeah, that was my deck profile for Oracle Think Tank. I really think this deck's fantastic. I would put this deck, if it were in a tier list, because I do like doing tiers, I'd probably put this deck in the tier 1.1 to tier 2, probably in the 1.5 slot. The deck's really good, just not very many people play it. So yeah, I think that's watching. You enjoyed. I'm TCGWolf, and until next time, I'm signing out. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll try to bring more deck profiles to you guys. So yeah, I'm Wolf, and I'm signing out. Take it easy, guys.